it's bad luck to be John. How will he find the will to carry on? On his quest for intercourse, the bard slew an ornery horse. Hereupon, it's bad luck to be John. Biddly bon.
Beer, 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 tiddly beer, beer, beer. A long time ago, way back in history, when all there was to drink was nothing but drops of tea. Along came a man by the name of Charlie Moss, and he invented a wonderful drink and he made it out of hops. He must have been the man below the Sultan or a king. Round to his praises we shall always sing. Look what he's done for us, he's built us up.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim. I am joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Heyo.
John Nuckelvee, Brandon.
I'm a weird zombie blade arm horse man.
Yeah, you are.
So you're just a blade-armed centaur?
Yeah. Zombie centaur.
Huh.
And we're also joined by Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
Do you think the sword hands are adamantium? Adamantium? What are they called?
Adamantium.
Adamantium.
You think that this horse is a Wolverine?
I do. I posit this is a Wolverine horse because I suspect we have not seen the last of it.
Oh. Do you think it's the best at what it does, bub?
Did you see what it did to that town? It seemed to be pretty good at it.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's true. All right,
Seems
so
like what it's
Wolverine.
good at is cutting off heads.
Yeah, so I guess this game is part of the Marvel Universe.
All right, love it.
Isn't everything nowadays? Disney owns everything.
Yeah,
Star
what's
Wars
with
is.
that? Why do they keep making good movies about cool franchises?
When are they going to introduce a Jedi to the Marvel Comics lineup? You know they are. Like an actual Jedi will show up in the comics.
What if a
that'd be
Jedi's
bad.
just a mutant, man?
Oh, no.
What if midi-chlorians are just an X gene? Woo!
Barf.
Stop it.
You know what? I would watch exactly one movie about that just because it would be ridiculous.
Isn't it going to be called Ready Player One? So you can just go ahead and do that if you want.
But I like that book, though. I'm excited for that movie.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
I can like
Guys,
trash
this is a
things.
podcast where
know
we
it's
play
trash.
and talk about classic-ish RPGs in this case. But we're back this week with episode 3 of our Bard's Tale series.
Woo!
This game is getting to be okay.
Jim, we should probably announce that we lied in the last episode. That
No.
we did not play till chapter 9. We played till chapter 10.
We're trying to plow through this thing, everybody.
Yeah.
We've gotten some feedback
we want-
that suggests that people don't want us to suffer for longer than necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is surprising.
Plus, we have our own limits as to what we're willing to do for this podcast. I mean, we make so much money from it, we're willing to take a lot, but we have our limits.
Got to keep that cash raining in.
But before we jump into our episode this week, let's talk about how we leveled up. Vanessa, why don't you kick us off this week?
Okay. I got...
What does that mean?
you go to a large room and there are a lot of other people there, and then one by one, you all get and become...
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
means
awesome,
that-
Vanessa.
Yeah. Now
That is
I
pretty
get...
cool beans.
before any anyway, it was a pretty good time. It was long because so many people had to have their turn, but we all did it, and then I came home.
Yay!
That's fun.
Yay. Yeah. John, how did you level up?
Ooh, I did 3 exciting things this week. First, I finished Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh.
Congratulate me. That is a large undertaking.
Congratulations,
That is-
John.
Almost 80 hours of gameplay, because I did most of the missions. All the loyalty missions. I 100%ed every planet, which doesn't mean you do all the quests on every planet, fortunately, because screw that. The game was about 40 hours too long, but had some really good moments. Like all the loyalty mission stuff was really fun. All the arcs were really fun, but it made you do the same, very similar vaults on every planet that is really boring.
Yeah.
But the end game was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It introduced a mechanic I wish had been in more of it.
Which one?
Switching between two characters, and I won't get into who the two characters are.
Okay. I really liked the set piece that was the ship that then turned upside down because the gravity got switched. I thought that was really fun.
Well, it keeps rotating in different directions and stuff, too.
Right.
And, yeah, that was definitely one of the best parts of the game. And it was fun. It made Liam a fun character.
Yeah,
he didn't have much to do.
No, he didn't have a personality, and then suddenly he's like this fun, goofy, great guy.
Yeah.
Who did you romance?
No one, because I'm a professional.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, didn't you tell me that you had sex with Phoebe in the airlock?
No, she tried to, and I was like, no thank you, lady.
Oh.
That doesn't sound like John.
If you don't romance anyone, right at the end of the game, a bunch of women throw themselves at you. It's very weird.
That's
like,
very odd.
Are you sure you don't want to have sex with one of us? Like, no, that's cool. Don't worry about it. I'm playing a lady rider too, so I assume it's going to be the same as a guy rider. Guy rider.
Oh.
And Coco was very good. That was one of the other things I did.
Ooh.
You mean hot chocolate, the drink?
No, I mean the Pixar film that
Coco Chanel
had a 22-minute TV special, Frozen Christmas special that was bad and should not have been in front of it because I got really bored and there's like 5 songs and I hadn't seen Frozen and it didn't make me want to go see Frozen.
I haven't seen Frozen.
There is a hot dude who is in a towel though.
Oh, that's good.
That's the one thing I can say about the Frozen special. But Coco is maybe my favorite Pixar movie now.
Oh, wow.
It has a good third act, which I haven't seen in any other Pixar movie, because they tend to all... Maybe The Incredibles had a good third act, but the other ones are all just kind of fall apart.
What about WALL-E?
WALL-E was really good until they go to the ship, and then it becomes a dumb cartoon.
That's true.
And...
what about Toy Story 3?
I just didn't like that movie very much.
What about Up?
Monster.
Up became a weird cartoon when they got to the where they were going to, and especially when someone turned into a bad guy.
Yeah, you're right. I can't argue with you anymore, and I will not. Please continue. I will stop interrupting. No more talking from Vanessa this episode. Goodbye.
Oh, no, Vanessa. I saw Mother, which I really liked, but you should definitely, if you have any like content warning stuff that you're sensitive to, please check out what that movie's about before going to see it, because there's a lot.
Are you suggesting that movie should have all the content warnings?
Yes, especially anything to do with motherhood. Go look that up first.
And just to clarify, John, you mean Mother !
I do, not an Earthbound movie. To be clear. There's no Earthbound related content in Mother. Not even one bit.
That's a bummer.
It is a really interesting movie that a lot of people hate, and it's okay if you hate it. I just like those kind of experimental, super weird movies. If you like the last 10 minutes of Black Swan, you might like this. It's the same director. And that's it. Jim, how did you level up?
I did a little bit of light traveling this week. Actually, I have an interesting airport story, if you guys want to hear my airport story.
I do.
Do I?
I was in the security line at the airport, and they did one of those things where they like split the groups into 2 and make one go through like extra security on their way around. So I had to go through the extra security part, and what they did was they make you walk in like a little horseshoe shape while a drug dog sniffs everybody.
Oh, interesting.
And this dog like got all up in my junk sniffing me, and so they stopped the line, and this dog I just had to stand there while this dog sniffed my junk, seriously sniffed my junk, like its face was up there. And so I just had to stand there, and I was like looking at the security people, and she's like, just wait. And then I looked at the other one, and the other lady was like, I think it's the guy behind him. So they redirected the dog to this other guy, and the dog sniffed this other guy's junk and then jumped on him.
Oh.
And they're like, yep, it's that guy. So they pulled that guy out of the line to go through,
dear.
Get his cavities searched.
Oh boy.
It was pretty stressful. I was like, am I going to miss this flight because they think I have like drugs in my crevices?
Wow.
Crevices.
Well, I'm glad you didn't get a more invasive search than that, but it's sort of like you.
But
you
that might have made
cheated
for
on
a better
your dog.
story, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I made friends with a dog at least. Me and that dog are friends now.
Do you think he's going to call you again?
I hope so.
Better put a rock on it.
I also watched The Punisher. Which,
Warzone?
No, The Punisher, like the Netflix series.
Tom Jane?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, the John Bernthal one.
Ooh.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was more like about the dude, like Frank Castle, than it was about the Punisher. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good. It was like a slightly above average kind of action mystery thriller kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like his character in Daredevil. I thought he was a big dummy. But
Then you will not like.
He's a lot more tolerable in his series.
Okay.
And the sidekick guy that they give him was like the best part of that whole show.
Is it Microchip?
Micro,
yeah.
Chip.
I used to read the Punisher comics when I was an angry teenager.
Yeah, it's Micro.
And like listen to Korn.
They even drive around in a bus at one point. Not a bus, a van. They definitely
do.
have a van.
That's really it for me. Matthew, how did you level up?
Oh boy, I did a swanky Christmas party last night, office Christmas party, and it was a good fun time. Everybody was all dressed up. It was all open bar.
Did you have like a shirt and tie on?
Yeah, did you wear a tie?
No,
Whoa.
I wore a sweater. I had a sweater on. It was too cold. Yeah, it was like, whew, it was like in the 50s last night. Can't be out there.
Oh man,
Cold. I had a t-shirt on. I had my button up on. I had a sweater on over that.
Gosh, what suffering.
Poor guy.
And I.
So who got the most like bad behavior lit? Reckon the office party.
We had a
Was
dude
it
pass
Bannon?
out in basically the entrance to the patio that we were all on. And
Nice.
the boss actually had to carry him outside, and then apparently he flipped out and ran off, and they had to call the cops to go get him.
Oh, boy.
And I
man.
really like this guy's name. And I've been working with him for fucking ever, and I really like him, and I really hope he like doesn't lose his job or something. But I don't think he will, because these things, somebody always goes nuts. Every year, somebody's the one. I think he'll be fine.
We probably shouldn't put that in the podcast.
The whole thing?
I will bleep out his name.
Oh, yeah.
Just re-record a bit where you say that Bannon threw up in the punch
And
bowl.
I did have to. I had to get him out of there for once. Actually, he was hammered at like 2:00 in the morning.
Oh boy.
Though I did ran into somebody who I know but can't really remember how I know. But I went ahead and got her phone number anyway, so that I can find out more about that. So that was a fun way to cap off the night. And
that was Cousin Stacy.
It's time for the quest log.
yeah, it's time for the quest log. I'm not going to sing it
is.
because when I sing it,
is.
John doesn't sing along with me anymore. So
Quest log, time for the quest log.
Quest log.
Join the quest log,
Quest
time
log.
for fun.
Quest log.
Jim's gonna read the quest log,
Quest log.
and Vanessa's gonna make funny comments. Quest log,
Quest log.
time for quest log.
Quest log.
It's a Christmassy Hanukkah quest log,
Quest log.
because it's December time, and if you listen in the supermarket, you'll hear Last Christmas played 20 times.
quest log.
That's true. Hanukkah starts Tuesday. So
Yep.
get ready, listeners, to celebrate that the day after this podcast drops.
Yay!
All right, we are in the mountain tower, right?
Unfortunately.
Right? That's what's going on.
Which one's the Mountain
who's
Tower? Oh, this is the Coliseum-y one, right?
Yeah, who's the boss guy of this dungeon? Lou? Is that how we're pronouncing
Tony
that?
Danza.
Yeah.
It was Tony Danza.
Tony
Tony
Danza.
Danza's tower. But yeah, he makes you do like these Coliseum battles when you first meet him.
He's a statue
He's a gold statue.
Ooh.
He's,
of like a Roman centurion.
yeah. I don't understand that.
No, neither do I.
Everybody up to this point has been Scottish, so I don't understand the Roman centurion thing.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. But the whole dungeon is sort of Roman themed. Like all the enemies are like Roman soldiers and legion people, and they're all also like gear worked. They're like clockwork enemies you're fighting that break apart into pieces.
I don't know much about Scottish history, but surely the Romans were present in Scotland as they were in the more southern parts of the United Kingdom.
They sure were. That's why they built Hadrian's Wall, to keep those Scots out.
Oh.
Or the Celts.
This is where the game started really getting glitchy for me because my cheats didn't work, and I actually had to play the game.
Oh no.
That's terrible.
I
Did
know.
you die?
I did. I died a few times. Every time I got charged at by one of the boar things, it like killed my character.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so that sucked.
Yeah, this game sucks.
It does. It's not
Actually,
it's not good.
I've come around on it a little bit. I have to admit. Last
Me too.
episode, I was so mad about it.
I enjoyed what goes on in the latter half of this episode more than anything else in the game so far.
And the combat finally opens up and becomes kind of fun. Like, it took forever.
I like that the summons are basically like a party and you want to balance them, and sort of you can try different strategies by being like, okay, now I'm going to have 2 melee people and a healer. What does the Enchantress do? Because I got her at the end of the episode.
Oh.
She keeps you. She keeps all of your people alive. Like, your summons become immortal.
That didn't
They
happen
can get
for
knocked
me.
out, but then they
but
come
maybe
back.
she gets killed.
Yeah, she can
Yeah.
get killed still. And she also will use, like, stop, basically, on your enemies.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Use what?
like a stop spell, so they cannot move.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, once I got her, the game got easier because suddenly my summons weren't constantly dying, which meant that I could actually like think about what I was doing and kind of strategize and plan, which I've not been able to do the entire game because they die so quickly.
Right.
So that's kind of where now it really starts to feel like it's getting strategic, and it's kind of fun.
I used the Explorer to disarm traps in this tower, and I used the little light fairy. And the light fairy has a defensive attack where he can stun everybody with it, like by flashing
that.
light. That was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So we get through the Coliseum fights and we have to continue onwards through the mountain tower. There's a lot of traps here.
Yeah.
And
A
man,
ton.
like I said, the cheats don't work on the traps.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't cheating. I didn't die I don't think I died. Oh, maybe I died once. I died once right before you meet the lady fighters, the javelin throwing ladies.
Oh, I forgot about them. Oh, I'm so
Because that
upset.
happens. So it's another 3-floor, basically 3 floors in a boss level dungeon. And I think it's towards the end of the third one or the end of the second one. There's this gate. Oh, there's some fun stuff about the switches for the gates being on the wrong side. So like you never get locked in.
Yeah. Or
And
locked out. You can always open them, and the bard is like, that's a really poor design. And they're like, he's right.
Yep.
Why do we do that?
Yep. He's arguing with a Colossus who's trying to defend the way that this tower was built. But another
And there
gate
are
you
some
get,
corridors that are dark, so you need to use the light fairy if you go that way, but you don't have to go that way. I thought that was interesting.
yeah. But one of these corridors is blocked off with a gate, and there's javelin throwing ladies on the side, and you can't talk them into opening for you. And once again, they're statue women. They aren't real women. They're like clockwork.
Mm-hmm. They're very poised and eloquent in their speech.
One sounded like Jennifer Hale again.
Mm-hmm. And they are strong warrior women.
Oh, we didn't mention Tony J, the announcer. We got scolded on our Facebook group.
Yes, the narrator.
He is a Megabyte from Reboot, who I loved. And he was from something Matthew knows, too.
He's from The Tick.
Oh.
Right?
Chairface Chippendale.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's also the voice of Shere Khan from the Tailspin cartoon series.
Oh.
For all our furry friends out there. Fun fact.
And he's the best part of the game, basically. So that's exciting.
Yeah. He is very good. So, Vanessa, how do you get rid of all these lady warriors that are blocking your way?
Well, they talk about how they're very strong warrior women. They are empowered and they aren't afraid of the bard because what would they possibly have to be afraid of? They are career professionals. They are statues. They're great. And then the bard summons a rat. And they all scream and run away because they're stupid, stupid women.
That's not funny, John. That's not funny, guys. That's not funny. Don't laugh.
I'm laughing at Vanessa. I'm not laughing at the joke.
I'm laughing at how awful it all is.
Yeah.
Like, what even is that? Like, no. No.
Yeah.
That's like a Flintstones gag for like a rat to run in and scare all the ladies.
It doesn't even make any sense because historically women were the housekeepers and homemakers and they'd be the ones who'd have to deal with rats more than men anyway. So what is even this?
It's tropes from black and white old television shows like Andy Griffith and
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, this game feels
the
like
housewife standing on the chair screaming.
It feels like that, or like a Hanna-Barbera gag.
But it's like if this game is meant to be a parody, then the bard should like decide, oh, I know the one thing that scares all women, and then he summons the rat, and then they just like stab it, you know? Like that would be a parody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it begs the question: what are they trying to parody? Like, I guess that old sitcom-y idea.
No, I think they're parodying warrior women.
Yeah. They're saying, like, it's funny, this trope of, like, having a warrior woman in fantasy because we all know women are dumb and afraid of rats. Ha 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 ha.
Just trying to goof on those silly ladies, man. They can't do stuff.
Moving on.
So that I got right before the final save point of this large tower. It's about 10-15 minute stretch between save points, and the game decided to go to a PlayStation blue screen of death, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Oh,
I had never seen that before, and I was like literally a couple of inches away on the screen from the save point.
Nice.
Yeah.
This game not only insults you with its script, it insults you with its very existence.
Yeah.
It must have done that on purpose.
That's a bummer, John.
Yeah. So I had to do the final chunk of the going up the tower. Because, of course, going down... Well, we'll get there. But, boss fight.
Boss fight.
Boss fight.
This boss fight took me about 3 seconds.
Yeah, me too.
What did this boss do? I can't really remember. Did he throw things at you?
He didn't do anything.
He had
just died.
A spinning swirl of swords that he used once for about 1 second and then died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just backed up and shot him with some arrows.
Yep, me too. And I had like the lightning bug.
Yeah.
And I think you get the knight in this tower and he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is pretty good.
But this isn't a case of being overpowered. It's just obviously the game glitched out in this weird way. So, Matt, what was your experience with this boss?
I just ran up and killed him. Again, for some reason, the bosses are super easy. I have such a pain in the ass time getting through the areas, the dungeons. And then you get to the boss and they're just pushovers. It's so weird.
I found this...
Because what kills you, what's such a hassle isn't the enemies, it's the amount of enemies.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's a shitload. But once it's just one-on-one, they're fucking easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you get another cutscene of Kaylee showing up after you defeat this tower.
Yeah.
And you have some more sexy, sultry talk with her. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go through the entire dungeon again, except this time fighting druids again.
The druids are easier than the monsters, at least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't so
I have
bad.
an easier time picking them off with the bow for some reason.
I also got all the treasure on the way up, so I just went as fast as I could through these floors.
Yeah, I've started skipping bits too. Just like, I don't need to sit here and kill a million druids. I'm just going to run.
All right, we've beaten Lou.
Yep.
We still have to go back through the fucking tower again. What's up with that?
Yeah, that's obviously they're going to do it every time.
Yeah, that's the mark of a game that didn't have enough content, so they just make you run back through the same old dungeon again.
Yeah.
Please continue. We gotta get out of this tower.
Let's go to Dunby now. We gotta go to
Yeah.
Dunby now.
Dundee.
This is a pretty big little city. But it's full of those druid guys.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you have to go back and forth through Downby like 3 or 4 times, and you have to fight these clusters of monks everywhere. And it like just getting through the city, I wish there was a fast travel because it's really annoying.
They were easy to fight, though.
Yeah, it made me laugh how they murdered the same townspeople over and over again.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're easy to fight, but it's not fun. You don't get very much experience. There's no point to it after the first time. Like, they should have just left these enemies out after you kill them.
You kill like 7,000 of these monks and gain like half a level.
Yeah, exactly.
I also had glitches walking over the bridges in this town where my frame rate slowed.
Glitches on bridges.
Yeah,
Me
because
too.
there was water under the bridge, and it's just too much for the PlayStation to render.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that too. I last episode said I had not experienced any slowdown, and now I'm experiencing it constantly.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Yep. Great job, game.
So there's the first area. It doesn't even have a store, does it? There's not much there other than the Frenchman, and you can see there's the entrance to the final tower in the game, but you can't go there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps pumping out monks if you stand next to it.
Pumping out monks.
Yeah. The guards warn you. They're like, oh, we're not going to arrest you, but the town's full of crazy monks who now control the city, so watch out.
This game is so stupid.
But one of the houses you can go into has Frenchmen in it.
Ooh, la la. Just when I thought we wouldn't get any xenophobia in this game, here it is.
Ah, oui, les Français. Mais les Français de France.
Yes. And they're like, bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Yeah, their names are Frère Jacques and Jean.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh my god.
They have a tune for you, a summon, but they ask you to go collect some debts for them.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they're lying. They aren't debts. They actually owe lots of money to other people, and the people that you try to collect from are like, yeah, we're not giving you any cash. These guys owe us money.
Yeah. But I like how the bard doesn't argue with them. There's no option to make them give the money or something. He's just like, oh, I've been tricked. Oh, I have. Oh.
Tricked again by those bleeding French.
Yeah.
So you go back, and they're like, no, if you're not going to give us our money, then we are going to fight you. But then you like swing at them once, and they surrender. Because
like
they're
French do.
Yeah.
Suck it, France. Suck on that, France.
Yeah.
And they give you this weird summon, and this summon's interesting. It's a tiny little man with lightning rods that he plants into the ground that do area of effect lightning spells. Sort of like the lightning spider, but he takes a lot more damage than the lightning spider.
Mm-hmm.
I use this guy quite a bit, actually. for crowds. He's good for crowds.
Did you summon him in front of the Frenchmen?
I did, just because I was like, oh, what's this guy? And then as soon as you summon him in front of the French guys, the little man comes out and kills them.
What?
Yep, he fries them. He doesn't like the Frenchmen who have been keeping him captive, I guess.
Oh, man.
And you get an extra, 2,500 experience for killing them.
We should say that this is optional.
Yep, you don't have to.
You don't have to do this.
You don't have to kill them.
You don't have to do any of this. I didn't.
You don't have to play this game at all.
You don't.
There's an old city section that has a bunch of treasures in it, so I kind of ran that.
Yeah, me too. And that's the first time you really get experience with the anti-magic field in this game, which is
I did like the door down there. Did you talk to him?
The fleshlight?
No, the door.
The metal door?
You mean the
With the metal mouth?
the mouth?
Yeah, the metal
The big
mouth.
fleshlight? The fleshlight.
Yes, the big metal fleshlight.
Yeah.
It did look like a fleshlight.
It totally looked like a fleshlight.
I
Not
don't
that
know
I
what
would know
that
what a fleshlight
is.
looks like.
No, I've never
I
heard
would
of
know.
such a thing. Are you trying to say
It's a
flashlight?
flashlight you put your dick in.
Well,
What?
she wasn't in our Final Fantasy. She wasn't in our Final Fantasy IX discussion,
The vaginal vagina simulator.
and it looks just like the mouth on the wall.
Oof.
I don't think that was intentional though, so I'm not giving the game any credit for that.
I don't think fleshlights had been invented yet.
One of the metal mouths sings a jingle for some kind of beer. Mm-hmm. And what did the other one? The other one talked for 20 minutes about quests or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just have to let him go on and on and on and on.
I found a couple more in the McRath castle too.
Yeah, there are some in there.
It's actually a very similar thing in the Fable games, if you remember. Each one of them requires a special puzzle.
I just started a replay of the first Fable game because I got it for my original Xbox.
Ooh. Well, you'll see it when you encounter those weird heads on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, magic fleshlights once again.
Sure.
And there's a sparkling purple field, and if you walk into it, all your summons die immediately.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yep. But there's not the enemies in here. It's those skeleton horses and zombies. So as long as you keep back and use your fire arrows, it's fine. It just takes a while.
Mm-hmm.
But they can really crowd. If you accidentally get a couple of them on you, you can die so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think there's I don't know. There's some kind of magic in there. I don't know, crone or something, upgraded crone.
Yeah, I got a couple of upgrades in here. I think that's all it was.
Yeah, maybe a new loot.
Yeah, maybe.
What's the point of the new loots?
They're stronger.
Bonuses
They give
on
you
your
more-
summons.
Well, they have more mana, and eventually they start just giving you extra summons. So I've got 4 summons now
Nice.
that I can have out at a time.
I'm still
Plus
at 3.
Ghost Dog.
How about Ghost Mutt?
What?
It's one of my favorite Simpsons jokes. That will make sense in a moment.
All right, let's power through some of this shit.
Are we still in the optional stuff?
Yeah.
Let's get out of Downby.
Well,
Where's Downby want us to go?
One other thing, just want to talk about the 2 bars in Downby. The first one has a talent show, and whoever your summons are go on stage and dance, and that's pretty great.
I had the crone, which I loved.
She does
really
a nice
got down.
disco dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys do this?
No, I missed this one.
I miss this too.
You should go back and
Did
do it.
the
It's pretty
Aiken
fun.
Drum. And doesn't the sheriff's office have a bad luck?
Oh, yeah, that was pretty fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the jail is full of chosen ones.
Basically,
Yeah.
he's keeping them safe because they keep wanting to run out and kill themselves. So he's
That's
keeping them
pretty
safe by keeping them in the jail. And included in the jail are 3 little jerks singing "Another Bad Luck to Be You."
Ugh.
Oh, it's bad luck to be you.
Gross.
Oh no.
Prophecy is never coming true.
The whole chosen one thing where they're constantly getting murdered is my favorite running gag in this game.
It's pretty good.
It's great.
It's a pretty fun gag, and I just love that there's
and it's the most pointed one too. It's not super dull parody like everything else in the game.
no.
It's a gag they actually do something with that's pretty consistently funny.
And they really spend a long
the songs
time
suck.
animating.
Yeah, the song is awful.
all the different stuff that the chosen ones are doing while they're in jail. Like they're flexing and doing push-ups and really working hard to be the chosen one. They're all like 15-year-olds. They're all little like young, young fellas. And I did notice
Good
that
fellas.
the goblins, the
Friends.
Kunal Trow,
The what?
Tunnel.
The what?
Kunal Trow.
The
Tunnel
who?
cows.
The
Oh, a
goblins.
tunnel cow.
They do like a special disco dance in this one with like lots of pointing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Aiken Drum, where you can hear all about the Nuckelvee. That's the horse with the sword arm.
Nuckelbee, Nuckelbee, who rose the Nuckelbee? Must
This
have been
song's about
someone stupid.
45 minutes
Nuckelbee, Nuckelbee.
You know what? If
Nuckelbee.
everybody knew that killing something in that circle would have raised a monster, put a fucking fence around that thing.
Or at least a sign.
Right.
The Nuckelvee song uses anus as a rhyme.
A lot.
Rhyme for what?
Everything.
What does anus rhyme with?
Heinous.
Anus and Enos?
Heinous.
Oh, yeah.
Anus
that's,
and heinous.
That's a good rhyme.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
tattle a tale that is terribly true. Started out as a rumor.
The heinous
Suddenly
anus
grew,
is
and
the
it
name-
deals
is
with
the
a
name of
man,
my
a horse,
grunge-
and a
is
ring.
my
So
grunge
settle
revival
on, and in
band.
my song we shall sing. It happened one day in a ring by a farm that some tragically brought us some harm. How could such a place abundant with charm create
Jim, what
such a
happened
beast
next?
with a spear for an arm? Oh, death and destruction is what you will get when he's
Oh
coming
my
for you,
God.
and your kilt you will wet. He's big and he's
I'm
strong and
I'm
quite
praying
fun to
for
see.
more technical
This is the
difficulties
tale of
right now.
Nuckelvee,
We have
oh,
45
Nuckelvee,
minutes
Will
left.
my
evil
internet please go
anus.
out?
Who could it be who set you free? He
So-
really must be an anus. So Nuckelvee.
Then you talk-
All right,
Easy
all
to
right.
see the terror you leave
Nope,
is raining
it's
on
a very
me.
long song,
Villages
Vanessa.
burned to the taverns
Vanessa,
are missed and the
Vanessa,
beer is gone and the elders are pissed.
Vanessa.
What she's gonna do.
Vanessa. So then you talk to what's his name? Dugan.
Dugan.
Dum
Dum
And if
Dugan.
they ever should
Dum
find
Dum
the
Dugan,
fool
exactly.
Nope.
playing on the upside down, but
And Dugan points you on the
spin
next
him
step of
around
the
until he gets sick. Ooh, that should do the trick.
John,
Hey,
I'm gonna need you to accidentally lose her
Nuckelvee,
track.
there,
Air quotes.
Dugan. He points you to the next step of the quest, which is you have to get the Shadow Axe in order to access the third tower. That's the one that will that'll break the seal, and you can finally get into the fourth tower in Downby to rescue Kaylee.
But he does not have the axe for you.
Is that a fourth tower? I thought it's just I thought it was just like a palace or a dungeon.
I thought it was also a tower, but I could be wrong.
Everything's
I
a
don't-
tower.
I don't know.
No, this is not a tower. This is like the pre-tower that we did like in the Frozen Tombs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. We're
Is this
not
the
going to
plane?
the tower in this episode.
I'm talking about the final tower. Like,
That's not it.
no, I just
In this episode?
no, like
No.
at the end of the game.
Oh.
I think the big bad guy's in a tower.
Oh, well, of course he is.
Yes. Anyway. So, you need to get the Shadow Axe, and to get the Shadow Axe, you need to get a key, from McWrath, who is waiting for you in the grasslands, but Chapter 9 is optional. And let's go to Finnstown, where a sexy lady told us a sexy reward is sexily waiting for us.
That's not what happened.
Was that not?
You're
Guys, I
such
gotta
a liar.
interrupt. I just got a news alert that said that it's snowing in Escambia County.
Oh boy.
That's here. That's
Uh-oh.
here in Florida.
Whoa, you're going to see
Wow.
snow for the first time.
That's so
no, it's not
exciting.
gonna make it down to me. I'm too far down the.
Oh,
I'm
it's
too far down
bad
the state.
luck to be you.
Global warming, huh?
Yeah.
So much for that.
Yeah. Well, how did I get it wrong? Tell me how it happened.
There were two guys, neither of whom were a sexy lady,
Okay.
and they told the bard that there was a reward waiting for him in Finnstown.
I really thought it was two ladies. Huh.
Not
Okay.
unless they were particularly unattractive ladies.
Well, there are some unattractive. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we got different versions. Maybe something different happened.
Maybe.
Maybe
I'm
'Cause I-
remembering wrong. But probably
Are
not.
you-
I'm
Are
brilliant.
you guys both playing the remastered and re-snarkled
Yeah,
version?
we're both playing
Yeah.
on PS4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
Say.
I could be wrong.
Maybe they upgraded the quest givers to beautiful, hot, busty ladies in the remastered version.
Or maybe I just assumed that's what the game would do because that's what would lead the bard on. So I'm probably wrong. Let's go with Vanessa's version, where it's two unsexy dudes unsexually telling you to go to Finstown for an unsexy reward.
Right.
So you go to Finstown.
Yeah.
So that's chapter 9.
Finstown is your reward is death.
Yep.
What is this one? Got a bunch of werewolves in it?
No,
Werewolves?
it's got
Werewolves.
archers.
Scarewolves?
The whole town has
Werewolves,
taken
not
up
swearwolves?
has taken up crossbows against you, and then once you actually get into the town proper, it's full of Vikings who really like you, and you find out why if you go to the bar. Because basically, last time you were in Finstown, you accidentally opened a gate that had a dragon in it, and the dragon got out and destroyed the town. And then the Vikings were like, "Oh, finally, we've been trying to get here, conquer this town for a while." So the Vikings took over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And everyone hates you.
Yep,
Not
except for the Vikings. The Vikings love you.
Yeah, they love you.
And I
Didn't
love
take
them.
long for them to try to kill me.
Those big, tall, hunky Vikings with cute beards, and they just look so strong and cuddly.
Mm-hmm. They have a song to sing, too.
Ugh.
Please don't sing it. No,
I'm
don't.
not planning on it.
Their song is about how you are getting the fame for taking over the city, and it's very long.
Mm-hmm.
But they took it over, and you can go to the armory because they have lots of treasures. Oh, although there's also treasures in the chief's house, and if you look at them, he's like, "Please don't steal those," which I like.
Mm-hmm.
So you go down to the armory. Some guys tell you they'll fight you if you try to go in there. You go in there, they fight you. Kill about 80,000 Vikings. You get lots of treasures. You let the townsfolk out of their cage. They help you fight. You go get the treasures that he told you not to get before, which includes like some really cool stuff. You get this thief lady summoned. Did any of you use her? She's really cool.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, she is dressed in a fur bikini for no reason, but her abilities are good.
Yeah, she casts like magic stuff, and she warps around enemies, and she takes very little damage because she's so high agility.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty good at surviving. So I really like her.
What's the name of this summon?
Rogue.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's good.
Mm-hmm. And there's some good stuff to buy from the Vikings, too, if you do
Yeah,
that
and I thought I could
kill
later, because I accidentally bought stuff from Downby. Don't buy stuff at Downby, because you have much better items in Finstown, and I didn't have enough money. I was like, well, I can go back there later. No, you can't. If you don't get this stuff now, including an upgraded bow, you can never get it, which sucks. And also, remember I was talking about the bodyguard in Kirkwall that I wanted to go get? You can't go get it because that room is no longer available after Kirkwall gets overrun with zombies. So
That sucks.
this game locks you out of a lot of stuff without telling you, and I hate that. Like, it's awful. That's bad game design. Anyway, you kill Silkbeard, and I found using the Herney, the plant man, he super kills those Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a very long. It was kind of tricky. It was a little tricky, but I did it.
Yeah, a lot of bow shooting Vikings off screen for me.
Yep. Enemies won't follow you very far, so if you are being swarmed, if you can get away from them and just go like a screen over, you can just like pick them off without them attacking you.
Yeah. But your summons will stay there and fight them until they die.
Mm-hmm.
But now my summons are immortal, so it doesn't matter.
Jim, did you enjoy this segment of the game?
I didn't actually do this. I didn't realize it was part of the... I thought that I was just really lucky because I went straight from Dunby to the grasslands, and it like kind of skipped a chapter, and I was like, whoa, I just must be really bad at counting. I'm almost done.
Yeah. It's optional, I guess. Do you
It
ever
is.
have to go to Finstown?
Nope.
No. Mm-mm. Sure don't.
But you get some good stuff if you remember to buy it. So don't buy stuff in Downby, buy stuff in Finstown. That's my advice to you. Wink!
If you're making the mistake of still playing along.
Wink.
Now, Jim, back to the grasslands.
Yes, these big, vast, empty, grasslands full of red caps.
I like
And tree
those. The red caps are like creepy.
They are kind of creepy. They reminded me of They remind me of like a monster from something, but I don't remember what.
Resident Evil remake, the GameCube one. That's what they remind me of. Oh
no, I don't know.
There's these redheaded
creepy,
zombies in the GameCube Resident Evil that are fast and come after you, and these things are crazy fast as well. Anyway, they're neat.
Yeah, they have pretty high HP too.
And they eat enemies, so if there's any bodies on the field, they'll run to them and restore their hit points with it. And I like that.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
They'll even eat the other dead red caps.
Yep. So it's kind of like Dead Space had some enemies like this that were pretty cool. Maybe did you ever play Dead Space?
I did play Dead Space.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
I didn't really like Dead Space. I played about half of the first one.
There's some enemies towards the end of the first. Well, they're always at the end of the game. But what they do is they're these little tiny things, and if they encounter a body, they become way more powerful because they take over the body. It's pretty neat. Yeah. Anyway,
the thing I remember most about Dead Space games is there's always an enemy at the end of the game that you can't kill that you have to run away from.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so scary.
I know.
You just have to keep running.
And then probably someone you're talking to was actually a ghost the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Or a projection
Ghost
from
of
the
a
marker.
dinosaur.
And also a dinosaur, yeah.
So Vanessa, don't play this game.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, I was exposed to Chris Pratt 2 ways over the weekend. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 for the first time. And I saw the trailer for the new Jurassic World. Chris Pratt is terrible in both of them.
Oh,
I've heard the second Guardians of the Galaxy is really, really good.
It is for the most part, but he's not a good actor.
Once again, Chris Pratt is on blast. I'm sorry,
It's
Chris.
a lot to do in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
He doesn't, and the lines that he does deliver are pretty bad.
I like him from
didn't
Parks
think
and Rec. So I
Maybe he just didn't. Maybe next, like the thing that really bummed me out was everything he did with Kurt Russell just fell really flat from him. That might have just been because he was up against Kurt Russell.
Yeah. What was the other one?
The new Jurassic World trailer.
Yeah, I mean, that Jurassic World is just such a bad fucking movie. Like,
It
just,
is.
you can't, I don't think you can take that out on Chris Pratt. Nobody's good in that movie. It's bad. And I expect Jurassic World 2 to be the exact same.
Life finds a way, Matthew.
Yeah, I know. Let's put, what's his
Unfortunately.
fuck in it? That'll make this one good.
Jeff Goldblum? Is he back?
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Apparently he is amazing in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, he is.
And it has an
Incredible
orgy.
in Thor Ragnarok.
He has an orgy room?
He has an orgy ship.
Yeah. Well, I have to see this movie. All right. So, final thing. Oh, when you get to the grasslands, you meet some druids and they sick some kind of pterodactyl on you and it kills your dog.
What?
Oh
What?
Puppers!
It squishes the pupper.
Oh.
But the dog was the only good thing in this horrible, horrible game.
No.
Dog.
They animated it, the death of the dog, in a way that, like, is this supposed to be funny?
I think so.
Because
Well, the dog gets basically smashed flat like a pancake.
and its legs are spread out, so like it's got
Yeah.
legs shooting out, and it's like it's simultaneously like funny and also, but I mean it's a dead dog, so it's sad automatically.
Yeah. So your dog dies, and then you kill the pterodactyl and all the druids because they're jerks for killing your dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the next part of the grasslands after fighting tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of enemies. There is the Nuckelvee. It's attacking McGrath.
Nuckelvee.
And you have to fight it. You get to kill it now.
Yes, there is no
Did
more.
you all
Nuckelvee.
one-hit this thing like I did?
It was
Well,
not
I
a
did
long
because
fight.
I'm cheating.
Yeah, see, I've got the Titan, I think is its name, the giant dude that throws rocks. And he seems able to just kill
Nuckelvee.
things.
Jim has killed the
No,
Nuckelvee.
everyone knows with what you should spill in the sacred ring by the farm on the hill.
I also figured out finally how to check stats on your summons, so now I felt like I could properly strategize with like the high HP guys and the ones with the best
The horse
attacks.
killing wicker who opened up hell. Nuckelvee, Nuckelvee,
Use
we
cheat
cannot
codes
win,
on
we must
Nuckelvee.
admit.
Nuckelvee.
Who could it be who
Nuckelvee.
set
You got
you
30
free?
minutes
He
left of
must be
recording
a
time.
dimwit.
So Jim cheated his way
Yes.
through killing the Nuckelvee. It wasn't a long fight for me. For me, it was maybe a minute.
I've been cheating
maybe.
my way through this whole game.
That's okay. That's all right, buddy. You're still cool.
Hey, I endorse the cheats.
The Nuckelvee looked like something from Parasite Eve.
Yeah, it kind of looked like one of them
Hey,
rats
Jim.
that
Stop
got
shaking
mad.
around.
Is that bothering you?
Yeah.
It's gonna make lots of squeaky sounds on the
Yeah,
soundtrack.
that's gonna make lots
No,
of
man,
squeaky
my
sounds.
chair is lubed up.
And so am I.
Nice.
Squish, squish,
Oh.
You're just covered in oil.
Oh.
Yes, I grease up before we podcast, guys.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh.
Gotta
Tell
use
us more.
Pam. I recommend Pam.
You don't use Crisco?
No. Anyway.
What are we
Who's
doing?
Pam?
So Mc do you have Pam in the
Pamela
US?
Anderson?
Did you say Pan or Pam?
Pam. Do you have Pam
We
in
have
the US?
Pam.
Pan?
I use it.
Pan?
Oh, okay.
Pam.
Pam Grier?
P-A-M. No, it's
Oh.
a spray. You spray it on your skillets and whatnot, so nothing will stick.
Yeah. Pam.
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 Pan.
Pam.
Pam.
Butter.
Pam.
It's Pam for your
butter.
pan.
So you find McGrath. Can anyone do a good McGrath impression here? Because he can't understand.
Bloody. Oof. You're walking along the street. I can't at all. Like,
Nope.
what are those lines?
I really liked him right until the thing that made me really not like him.
You need we need to insert like a Brendan Gleeson.
Well, here's a little clip of McGrath, so you can sort of see what we're talking about.
Oh, laddie, you borrow your pound still I give you. Oh, lad. I tell you, better feel but cut you there and run your ring, but rockin' through.
Oh, McGrath, don't talk like that. I love this thick accent, though.
It is pretty
All right.
cool.
Now we all know what he
make it-
sounds like.
They say that it's another language, which it's not.
No,
It's a dialect.
I can see that.
but it is understandable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I could understand what he was saying. The bard is just dumb.
He's talking about the Undeed.
Yes.
Did anybody get a look at these graves?
Yeah, McGrath is like a local landowner who has been besieged by the Nuckelvee, and he's...
By the what, Jim?
I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to risk it.
The Knuckled Bee. Have you never seen the, Knuckled Bee?
The Knucklevee. Have you ever seen the
fists instead of a
Knucklevee? It's
stinger
got a
coming out
horse.
of its
Of course,
butt?
of course. It's
It punches
Mr.
you.
Ed.
It doesn't sting you. It punches you with its butt fist.
Oh.
The Knuckled Bee.
Butt fist.
Benuckled.
Why does it have a butt fist?
Instead of a stinger, because it's a knuckle. Bee.
Oh, okay. I think I
Oh,
get
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
it. I got it.
Butt fist. Gosh, that's you know what? If you're gonna start a rock, if anybody's out there gonna start a rock band, Butt Fist should be your band name.
Right. So, you can't understand this guy, so you got to bring him back to Doogie
Dugan.
Hauser
Dennis Dugan.
to go translate him for you, and so you go do that. Yeah.
And by the way, this game makes you walk 1,700 miles
Yep.
back from where you meet McGrath, all the way back to Dunby, and then all the way back there. It's a long walk.
With lots of
I would
respawning
walk
monks
500
and
miles.
red caps
I would
and
walk
skeleton
500
horses.
More.
And I wish this game had fast travel or enemies that permanently died.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But you
At
get
least give me a horse.
to the graveyard. It's full of undeed, and you fight those undeeds. And you can look at
hold
the
on. One thing. When you're on your way back through the grasslands, there are new enemies there. The scarecrow guys who were at the farm earlier are in the plains now.
Oh,
and they're fighting the red caps.
Yep.
Yeah, that was interesting. Made it easier to slip past them because I was not fighting these fucking things again.
That's true.
I was just level grinding, so I killed them all every time.
So you gained like 1 level from killing 17,000 enemies.
I think I'm fairly high level now, which is good.
What level are you?
I don't know, but I've almost maxed out rhythm and vitality and dexterity.
Hey, what does luck do, by the way?
I think it's a dump stat. Like it
when
gives
you
you bonuses.
hover over it, it says luck has an effect on many things in the Bard's adventure, but it doesn't do anything.
They always say that. I think it improves your chances on rolls, basically. It's all rolls
like
behind the
criticals
scenes.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you get cooler stuff from the treasure chests.
I know, like games like Fallout, if you had high luck, sometimes weird scenes would happen. I haven't noticed anything like that here.
This game doesn't have that kind of production quality, John.
So when you talk to McGrath, after you look at all the graves of his forefathers, he says...
Yeah, did you guys look at the graves?
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
didn't really pay attention to this and was
Did you
really
guys know that
confused
if you follow the order of the graves in the dungeon, you'll get through it like twice as fast?
Ooh, I didn't know that.
So if you pay attention to the runes on there and you follow the order of the portals in the order of the way the runes are laid out in the cemetery, you will zoom through that dungeon.
But you want to go to the side areas to get all the... Like, there's amazing summons in this dungeon. So you want to go get those.
There's a couple of them.
Behemoth?
Where you get... Yeah, you get Behemoth, and there's also upgrades for 2 other summons in one of the rooms.
Yeah, there's improved Archer Lady and improved Knight.
Improved Heroine and improved Knight, yes.
Fuck, I missed the enhanced night. That sucks.
You have to have the enhanced Explorer, because he'll find the secret passages that have these things. So, you go... so this is like... There's some anti-magic fields, so you can't always have your summons out. And there's a bunch of portals, and like he was saying, there's a certain way you can go to get to the end. But if you sort of explore... I would take all of them and get every chest, because there's some really good stuff in here. And you get to a red blood pool with a floating skull in it. And
it's a great little skull. I liked it very much.
He was very
I like
fun.
how it tries to scare you intentionally.
Yeah.
You first walk up to the pool and the camera just kind of lingers and nothing happens. And it stays there for a while, and then the skull pops out and just screams at the bard. Trying to scare him. And he's like, wasn't that scary?
And he makes you do this ritual to summon a spirit from the afterworld who wants to see you, and he doesn't know who the spirit is.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do it, it's your dog!
Yay!
Now he's a ghost mutt.
Did you guys do this more than once?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I did it
No.
3 times.
I did it a second time, and it was just a Kunal Trow.
Yeah, I did it a 3rd time as well, and it was still just a Kunal Trow.
I got bowed one time. And he was trying...
Oh, no, yeah, that's right. I got bowed.
He's trying to warn you. He's like, the reality you're in is actually... And then you get cut off. I wonder if he's going to say actually a video game or actually hell or
Are you
what.
in the Matrix?
I don't know. He was trying to warn you about something. But you never find out what. And the skull's like, oh, sorry. You know, otherworldly interference. Who knows? Happens a lot.
Stupid.
Did you guys run into a dance-off in this dungeon?
I did, and that was actually kind of funny. Because you go through one of the portals and you walk through and you stumble upon... Because there's 2 kinds of enemies in here. There's just like regular undead zombies. And then there are like bigger zombies that can like shoot their intestines out at you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you find 2 groups of those guys like having a dance-off. Like, what are those dance-off movies that were in, like, the early 2000s? Like
Bring It
Step Up
On.
and Dance or something, yeah.
Step up to the street.
It's like Step Up to the Streets. It's like that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're, like, breakdancing at each other.
The game, like, glitched, and it started the cutscene, and nothing happened, and when I hit the button, it skipped it. So I never got to see the dance-off. I'll have to pull up the video.
It's actually kind of funny because they dance at each other, and I think it's the regular undead guys. One of them goes, "You just got served." And then the camera pans over to the bard, and he's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. And then they just start attacking him.
Yeah.
This sounds very early 2000s. Remember when everyone was always getting served, and there's lots of jokes about like nerdy white people serving other people? Be like, oh, you didn't expect that he could serve you, or that old grandma.
Yeah.
It's it's the you got served jokes and the like Matrix, like Trinity kicking people jokes that will instantly date any piece of art that anybody creates. It's like the early 2000s, or it's like a graveyard of those references.
Yeah. That's the only thing the early 2000s has got going for it, other than like Snooki. And that's 2009.
Yeah.
It feels longer. Snooki feels like she was from 2003, but somehow she was from 2009.
Wow.
Yeah.
Snooki, gosh, that's a name I haven't thought of in a long time. Wonder what Snooki. Hey, Snooki, if you're listening to this podcast, write us. I want to know what's going on with you.
Old Snooki Kenobi. I haven't heard that name in years.
Remember that 6 months when all the girls had Snooki hair? That was bad.
I do remember that. They had like
that bump thing?
The bumps.
Uh-huh.
I had a bump.
Are we talking about girls that have the bumps?
Yeah.
Your lovely lady lumps. Remember Black Eyed Peas?
I do.
Yeah.
This is our new podcast, which is called Hey, Remember? And it's just a reference from the mid 2000s.
Remember the 2000s. I'm Hal Sparks.
Remember the Urbz, the game that was based on Sims in the City? With the soundtrack by Black Eyed Peas singing in Simish, but you could also befriend the members of the Black Eyed Peas.
Snurgalicious fluff. Snurgalicious fluff.
God.
Snurgalicious fluff, 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 fluff. Snurgalicious nurby faber dicky and nurby Haiti.
Can we call this episode I'm Hal Sparks?
How far into this are we? Where are we? Can we please finish?
We're almost done.
Go to bed.
We're in the
Almost
there.
So you get through the dungeon, McGrath's dungeon. I didn't hate this one. The portals were okay.
Yeah. The anti-magic field was... Well, you know, it mixed things up because you'd have to like
But
it'd just be you
wasn't
and your
around
dog.
too much.
No.
Like, and I didn't realize that. So I died a lot, but then eventually I realized it was my own fault because I didn't notice that the anti-magic field was gone.
Right. You have to keep an eye out for the sparkles.
Yeah, once I had my summons back around me, I was able to just rip through everything. Now that I'm telling you, now that they can't die, this game got a lot easier. So what's after McGrath's dungeon, John?
At the end, there's Shadow Axe Man. And I liked, if you look at the map, I usually have the full map superimposed over the screen, and it's shaped like a guitar in this one.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think
I didn't notice that.
if you have the rogue out, the whole map for the area shows up. You don't have to, like, unlock it.
Oh, wow.
She's pretty useful for that.
What did you think of the Shadow Axe? I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah. So the Shadow Axe is a guitar, but it's purple and glowy and also an axe. And it's, the zombie has it and he, will fight you he doesn't actually, oh yeah, there's a good point where he's like, well, first he kills a chosen one, unfortunately. And then, the bard's like, oh, are you gonna make me fight you to give me, before, so I can get the axe? So I have to go through this whole thing and jump and dodge and do everything so I can get this axe from you? And, the Shadow Axe guy's like, well, I wasn't gonna do that, but that sounds I was just gonna give it to you, but your idea sounds way better.
He's like, I'm tired of fighting. You can have it, but no.
John, your bard voice sounds like Michael Caine.
Yeah. Well, some people just want to see the world burn, Master Wayne.
Master Bard.
So, unfortunately, because the bard didn't... oh, yeah, this is where the bard realizes sometimes he should shut up, and then Tony J is like, finally, the bard learned the lesson we all knew.
That was pretty funny.
I like that joke.
So what'd you guys think of this boss?
Tricky. I actually had a lot of... he would swarm me, so I couldn't keep my summons up, and I kind of had to, like, pick him off from very far away, but even my normal arrow trick didn't work because the zombies were fast and following me.
Yeah.
It was one of the harder, but it wasn't bad.
It's a pretty big arena, too.
Yep. A guitar-shaped arena.
I didn't even notice a guitar shape.
Yeah. It is shaped like a guitar.
Oh, that's dope. I had this weird thing where he summoned some zombies, and then I backed him into a corner, and then for the rest of the fight, he didn't do anything.
Ooh.
No,
Because the knight had him pinned in a corner, and I was shooting him with arrows. and he was, I think, attacking the dog, but he would attack the dog would
Ghost
pass out.
dog.
He'd switch to the night, the dog would wake up, he'd attack the dog some more, because I think my healer was healing the dog or something. But yeah, it was a long fight, but it was very boring because he just stood in the corner and I shot him with arrows.
That sucks. So once you defeat him, you get the Shadow Axe.
You do.
Does somebody want to explain how this works? 'Cause
I haven't
it's
used
weird.
it.
So it's like a melee weapon, but it's in with your instruments, not your melee weapons.
Oh, how do you use it?
In the menu, you equip it just like you would equip the bow, or you would equip, nothing. How you can equip just your fists or whatever.
Okay.
It's to the left of that. It's the left option. And it works as an axe, and if you summon something, first of all, it gives you a 4th summon slot if you have it equipped when you do your summons.
Okay.
You can even unequip it once you've got 4 summons out, and the 4th one will stick around.
Nice.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
when you use it, instead of being, he always plays it, but it's an electric guitar. It's
That's pretty cool.
That's really
like
cool.
Like a Bill and Ted riff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it very quickly became useless because it's too slow to use as a weapon, unless I think you've been trained enough in two-hand maybe. But very quickly I got the next instrument, and that thing had 4 summon slots. So it was like, well, I guess I don't ever have to use the axe again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to give it a shot. Next time on Square Roots.
I'll tattle a tale that is terribly true. Started out as a rumour, but suddenly grew. And it deals with a man and a horse and a ring. So settle on in, and our song we shall sing. It happened one day in a ring by a farm, something that tragically brought so much harm. How could a place abundant with charm create such a beast with a spear for an arm? And death and destruction is what you'll get when he's coming for you, and you kill you a wet and he's big and he's strong. It's quite plain to see that this is the tale of the Nuckelvee. Nuckelvee are big and evil and heinous. Who could it be a set you free? It really must be an anus.
So was this chapter 10?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was chapter 10, man.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it.
Now we can go to the next tower.
Mm-hmm.
Island Tower.
Yep.
Are we going to try and finish the game next time?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
By the way, next time on Square Roots, we finish the game.
Good
We're
job.
we're finishing up early, and then I think we're going to have a week off, right, for Christmas?
Yep.
We are. We're going to make sure everybody, because we know how passionate our listeners are, and they routinely ignore their families to spend time with us. We want you guys to enjoy your holidays with your families.
Yeah.
There'll be a little something special out there for you, though. Don't worry. We got you covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're your family too, but we're your ear family. You need to be with your flesh family.
Yeah.
Gross.
Flesh family. Hey, for our special Christmas holiday episode, we're going to be doing, I don't know what you call it, a recap? We're going to be doing an episode where we revisit Radical Dreamers,
Ooh.
the Chrono Trigger spinoff.
With a special guest.
With special guest and host of Acts of the Blood God, the popular RPG podcast, our friend Nadia Oxford.
Yay.
Yeah.
And this is a spin-off of Chrono Trigger?
Yeah, it's kind of a semi-bridge between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 10 minutes left. Let's blow through the squarely against, guys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants
to go first?
Oh, Jinx.
I am squarely against the character models now in the game. I didn't notice it at the beginning, but like McWrath was missing his legs. All the shop owners no longer have eyes and can see the back of the wall behind them through their face. And once again, that game crashed and I had to redo like 20 minutes of gameplay. So this game should not have passed QA, basically. And I'm squarely against the game being crazy buggy. Jim, what are you squarely against?
Let's see. I want to say I'm roundly for that final dungeon. Even though it legitimately killed me a couple times because I mentioned I've been using cheats, but the cheats don't protect you against traps. I got a little too reckless in a couple of the dungeons and died. But I really enjoyed kind of moving from room to room. Each room was a little bit different, and I liked the floaty skull and the boss guy. So
Yeah, the floaty skull was fun.
the game's gradually kind of. I won't say I'm not gonna say it's good, but it's getting better.
The ghost dog bit was my favorite bit of the episode. So
Yeah.
can I just be roundly for ghost dog?
It
would have
I love
been-
ghost dog.
It would have been better if because they show you a close up of the dog after it's been brought back, and it is a really poorly rendered dog zombie model. It looks like shit.
It's like a skeleton.
Yeah, it's a skeleton
like
with a glowy dog around it.
Aura. Yeah.
It looks bad. I didn't like it.
You look bad.
No.
Vanessa, what are you squarely against?
I'm squarely against rats because they're so scary. I'm just a girl.
Called that one.
She's just a girl in the world. Something about walking into spider webs? That's all I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, yeah, just when the game is like going along and you think maybe you won't be reminded that it hates women, it reminds you that it hates women. Stupid women.
And gays.
Yeah.
And gays. Yeah, I am also squarely against the use of the word poofter
Mm-hmm.
and the gay panic.
Yeah. There is definitely some gay panic in this section.
Yeah, like literal panic. Like he runs away. He screams and runs.
That's another one of those things that feels like. I mean, I know it's not, but it was like in like pop culture. It was a real early 2000s thing to really.
It was
have
more of
lot
a
of
90s things, like a 1990s thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But it became like it was like kind of co-opted by like the edgy media in like the early
edgelords?
2000s. Yes, the edgelords really took that and put it in their back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out the edgelords had a lot more in their back pocket than any of us realized. So what do we do next, guys?
Let's see. I think that's actually it for this episode. So, as we explained, we are switching up our game plan a little bit, and we are finishing up the game on our next episode, followed by the week after that, our episode on Radical Dreamers with good friend Nadia Oxford.
Yay!
But before we sign off, let's give everybody the reminder that they can send us an email at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. They can come interact with us directly at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or they can tweet at us. We are at Square Roots Pod.
Do you think next episode we'll announce what our first game of 2018 will be?
It will. We will make that announcement, and I think everybody's going to be very excited about it.
Oh boy.
Let's say it is.
oh boy.
It is miles beyond a Bard's Tale. You might even say light years beyond.
Oh my. Huh. Well, that is a quite a little hint.
Yes.
So we're doing that Star Wars Han Solo dancing game?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Solo. I'm Han Solo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Subscribe on iTunes and give us a good review, and that really helps us. Tell your friends about this podcast, and if you do review it, go ahead and send a screenshot to us on Facebook or Twitter. And I will tell you how you leveled up. Although there's 3 new reviews on iTunes, so I might just do it anyways next episode. I might just do it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Default level ups.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not.
Yeah. You take.
Honestly,
that
that's
level.
not a terrible idea. Why do we make them screenshot it? We should
You know
just
what?
keep an eye
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, you're
They're
right.
not coming in that fast.
Not hot and heavy.
Well,
No.
I mean, you're kind of downplaying the popularity of our podcast. They come in so fast, we can barely keep up. Get yours in if you want us to read it.
That information is readily available to anybody that cares to look our podcast up on iTunes.
Jim, stop lying.
I'm sorry.
And start finishing the podcast.
Yeah, everybody. That's it for this week's episode. For Square Roots, I am Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Sean Brandon.
What the
No,
fuck?
you're Hal Sparks.
Raspberries.
Oh, sorry. I'm Hal Sparks.
And I'm Vanessa.
Yay!
Yay.
Bye.
Nuckelvee, the cherry wafer Paradise High Class. Who could it be that set you free? He really must be a dumbass. Nuckelvee, oh Nuckelvee. We cannot win, we must admit. Who could it be who set you free?
A chosen one of many isn't new. When you think you're full of luck, in the bullets you'll get struck. Oh, it's bad luck to be you. One would think that fame and glory could be bought. When it comes to chosen ones, there are a lot. There seems to be too many. I don't really think there's any. A useless pile of bunk is what you've got. Oh, it's bad luck to be you. The prophecy is never coming true. In the pickle you'll be stuck like a chicken.
And Jim is going to bleep all of that, so it's going to sound very risque indeed.
You
Jim,
are
you
Jim,
editing
huh?
this week?
Wow.
I
Thanks,
ain't
Jim.
editing nothing.
There's too many
He's
J
just
names
the pretty
on this
face.
podcast. There's
Yeah,
John, Jim, Janessa, Jathu.
Did I say Jim? I called John Matt earlier today, too. I don't know. It's hard to tell your guys' voices apart. What can I say?
Right.
Your video. You can see us.
Right. I forgot.
Oh, it's bad luck to be, really bad luck to be. Nobody could disagree. It's a freaking guarantee. It's bad luck to be you. It'll lead to.
I
Yep.
didn't mean to derail the podcast with my history lesson.
No, it's cool. Is Jim still there?
John, I can't see your camera. Did you turn your
Oh,
camera
I
off?
turned-
Okay.
Yeah, I turned my camera off. I'm still here, I swear. All right, well, we got Jim sent a message saying he's got to restart. So I guess it's the Matthew, Vanessa, and John show.
All right.
Oh, man.
John.
Matthew, welcome. You're finally a guest on the Vanessa and John show.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I don't like this. How come it's Vanessa? How come it's not the Matt and John show?
Oh, because it's Vanessa's show.
No.
Yeah, it's my
No,
show.
it's not Vanessa's show.
I'm like,
Hi, welcome to the Vanessa Show with my friend John.
Yeah.
Our guest today is Matt.
Hey.
Matt,
Oh.
welcome to my show.
Hi. It's good to talk to you.
Yay.
Oh, it's great to talk to you as well.
Ha
Matt, you live...
I'm like Ed McMahon. Keep going.
That was some great color. Thanks, John.
Ha!
Matt, you live in sunny Florida. How's that?
It's cold. It's like 62
How-
degrees outside. I have to turn the heat on. It's very
Yes,
cold.
sir. You are correct, sir. I'm drunk, Ed McMahon.
Now, Matt, you have never seen snow before. Is that
That
true?
is true, kind of. I mean, I've seen it freeze over, and I have seen like snow come down, like little snowflakes, but I've never seen like an inch of snow on the ground. I've never seen enough snow to make a snowball or a snow angel or a snowman.
So,
Do the
This portion
snowflakes demand special rights?
what? Oh. Oh.
Yes.
Yes, as they're falling, they cry out, "Don't hurt my feelings!"
And we won't, because we respect all these snowflakes as they melt.
Yeah. There's nothing that I need to say that would be, a derogatory term or a slang phrase that is more important for me to say than is for my fellow man not to be hurt by what I am saying. This does not mean that we cannot discuss issues, politics, differences of perspective, but there's no reason to do it in an insulting way. That's what I
It's
think.
basically the new polite. It's the new manners. This is the new etiquette.
All right, well, I'm going to let you two have fun while I go to the bathroom since Jim is rebooting.
He's back.
Is he?
No,
No, I was just hoping.
I'll be right. It'll be 30 seconds.
All right.
I would really like this recording to be over.
So, Matt, since you've never seen snow, did the mountain region level of Bard's Table frighten or confuse
It
you?
did. So much white everywhere. Where go? Circle, circle.
Mm-hmm.
Stompy stomp. Look cold. Drink hot drink.
Where go ground?
Where go ground?
Where go ground?
What? Walk on cloud?
It snowed here this weekend. Not very much. didn't really stick on the ground, which is nice because I wanted to be able to go here and there in a automobile, which I did.
That's good. I didn't realize that if it snowed, you were not able to leave your home. Do you have to lock your doors?
You can. It can be dangerous to drive on an icy road.
Why?
Your car goes slippy around.
Don't they like salt the roads or something? And you have snow tires on your car?
I don't have snow tires on my car. It doesn't snow enough here to make that worth it. They do plow and salt, but depending on the volume of snow, they don't always get it all. And people drive crazy in the snow, and it's not great.
Your Honor, you take away our right to steal ideas? Where are they gonna come from? Her?
How about ghost mutt?